I really need to get a sponsorship from Rust-Oleum. Alright, so the time's come. I'm going to go ahead and make an attempt. Do some wire cleaning. Clean this whole engine bay up a little bit. See what kind of rust I have. What needs to get attention. Biggest thing is to clean this whole compartment out. That way whenever I do get my motor ready to set in here, I can just put some new motor mounts and see if it'll fit. We'll see if it'll fit around the whole air conditioning system. I've read numerous times that you will not be able to run an air conditioner with the LS, but we'll see. Either A, it's going to hit that box, or B, the compressor hits that cross member. So we'll see. First things first, let me clean this mess up. Try to label it the best I can. See what happens. Alright, so I didn't film much of the wiring removal. Actually, I don't think I did any of it. But anyways, this is where I'm at right now. I'm on the last few skinny strokes of it. It all originates right here. Let me rephrase that. One of the two originating spots is from this point right here. I don't know if you can see this that plug down there. That's I believe they call it the C100. There's a left port, left jack, and there's a right jack. The left one, all it is for lighting. It runs right along the firewall here and goes up inside here, does your headlights, your running lights. It also hits your horn, and it runs inside. It runs inside, up underneath. It hits this right here, which I'm not sure what that is. I think it has something to do with the airbag. It says something about inflation device on this tag. I'm going to get rid of it. If I don't know what it is, we don't need it. Then I'm going to keep on, that wire bundle keeps on running to the other side. Hits the other headlights, running lights, turn signals and all that. Another thing it does hit your little brake switch here, which I say it's a switch. It's the low pressure for your brakes. Gives you like a brake warning when you run low on pressure. And it also runs, there's another wire slash plug on that bundle, on the left bundle. We're still talking about left bundle. It comes over and it hits this little washer pump. Alright, so I was wrong. Actually, with that little brake connection went on the other C100 harness plug. It came over here. There's two wires that came on this side, that brake plug, and there was another one which I haven't figured out what it goes for yet. I'll have to get online and do some research online to figure out. But those are the only two wires that came on this side. After that, it would shoot straight across. I believe it hit the windshield wiper assembly there. There's two plugs on it. Then it just continued all the way around. That's what you see over here. Over here, here's the right side of that plug. Oh, another thing that goes on that corner. Another thing on this side is there was 3 relays over here. One was for the fuel pump. Another one is for I believe it's the air conditioner. And I believe the third one was for the fan, electric fan. So there's 3 relays up here. I believe that's the 3. That's what they're for. Come on over here. You have all this big wire bundle. It just makes the droops all the way around here. It has some connections up to the blower motor down there. Comes in here, and here's some more connectors. I believe this is my fan, electric fan. In this right here is also, I take that back, maybe this red one's a fan. And I believe this is the fuse for the fan after it leaves that starter on the other side. I already took it off, but there's a distribution block that gets mounted right here, and all it is all three of these hot wires. This is your battery area. Here's all them relays. And I'm doing a terrible job of explaining this to you. I've already got most of it tore out, so it's hard to find it. One thing that is baffling me is this right here. I have no idea what this is. As soon as I see it in place, it'll probably make sense. And I don't know if it has anything to do with the original 3.1 liter V6 motor. I don't know. I'm lost. Anyways, so my next task is to pretty much got all the wires in this one bundle right here, at least the right side harness. There's my left side wiring bundle. It's just that's it. That's my left side. Simple. There's the plug. Nice and small. Like I said, all it did was lights. The rest of that is just wire looms. The rest of this is wire loom trash. Crap load of trash. So here's a better layout of how the wiring was laid out. Here's where all my power and wires came from. Otherwise the harness went up and over the firewall over there. Here's all my wires that come down the middle, probably on top of the motor. And there's my plugs over there and relays. But anyways, it comes up over here. And from this point is where it ties in. It goes into the firewall, or excuse me, into the quarter panel. It somehow shoots into the cab. So that is my next task, is to go ahead and try to fish all them wires out. Get the original ECM out and fish these wires out. I just need to clean up a little bit, organize in here. I don't even know what the hell this is. Okay, so I got the this lower dash panel. There was a panel that just covered all the way up to there. 3 screws, 1, 2, 3. Pulled it off. There's a kick plate here. There was only 1 screw in it, and it wasn't even, I mean, it was just sitting in there. It wasn't holding anything. So we're to the point where this, I believe, is the ECM, and I got to looking. I haven't pulled anything out yet, but I'm guessing this is probably like that C100. It's just like a bulkhead fitting. So I'm hoping all those wires up in the engine bay come down the fender and make a penetration there. Hopefully I can just unplug that, pull that out, and then hopefully I could just pull this ECM out. So now I got to digging around, or I haven't digged yet, but just by looking at this is the first thing I noticed. This thing kind of wants to fall, which is fine. I don't care, it's coming out. But can you read that? I don't know why, but it looks like it says a 90 Corsica. I don't know. We'll see. Let me try pulling the rest of this out. Alright. Alright, so I finally got it, or at least I started to get it. It ain't out yet, but anyways. So I pulled my little module down. Here it is right here. There's that. Nothing fancy. Anyways, there's my wire bundle back there. So actually what you had to do, there's a little keeper piece right here. Slide it up. And then I was able to push it through the quarter panel. Came over here to my front wheel well, cut all these little plastic keepers away because I don't know how to get them out. And that's what it looks like back there. So now I'm going to fish all the wires out. Push them into this quarter panel, go straight up, pull them back out the hood up here. See how it goes. Alright, so I got the old original motor mounts off. I didn't video it. Nothing really show on that. I think there's enough videos on that. It sucks. It's not as bad as I was thinking after watching a bunch of the other videos, but it still ain't fun. Primarily just laying up under a piece of rusty metal with a bunch of mud and everything else jammed up in there. Anyways, falling in your eyes. Anyway, so this is where the original motor mounts went right here, these three. This is a V6, so that's where the V6 mounts go. The new V8 mounts are here, here, and there. I went ahead, same with up front there on the other side. I don't know if I can point. There's one, there's another, and somewhere around there. That's the V8, so it gets pushed forward a little bit. I've already loosened all the clamps up for my brake line, so I'll crawl back up in here and slide everything out of the way. Before I install it, what I plan on doing right now is taking a wire wheel to this cross member and just clean it up. Try to get most of the chunky rusty stuff, as well as the ooey gooey stuff off this cross member, and then I bought some Pour 15, which is a good sealant paint, rust inhibitor. Plan on painting it. It's not gonna be super fancy. All I'm doing is mainly this part right here, the part that I wanted to do it before I put new motor mounts in, because as soon as I get them on, I'm not going to want to pull them off again to do any painting. So I'm just going to probably paint just the top half, maybe the front half of this cross member, clean it up, paint it. That's it. It's not going to be a show quality. I'm just trying to knock some stuff out before I stick new motor mounts in. So this is what I'm using. If that don't work, that's what I got. Definitely need glasses, definitely need gloves. Might want to use long sleeves. Otherwise, well, either way, even with long sleeves, you're gonna get a good session of your acupuncture performed. Alright, so this is what I got going on now. I did quite a bit of stripping up inside the engine compartment here. I may have got a little carried away more than I should have, but my goal is I got some engine mounts I was going to put on this cross member here. I was going to go ahead and wire wire wheel it, get all the rust off of it. And then I was going to take some Pour 15 paint to it before I put the engine mounts in there. So got the cleaning up in here, and a lot of it, specifically on this side right here, there's a lot of grease, oil and grease, just from being in the engine compartment. So what I'm going to attempt to do is wheel this thing out in front of the garage, and I got some degreaser spray. I'm going to spray in here and let it sit there and soak. Spray it off, see how well that goes, and then I'll push it back in here again. We'll see, like I said, we'll see how that goes. I'm doing semi-gloss black. Obviously the Pour 15, I got that for the cross member. Got the smallest can they have. If I got more, I might go ahead and, especially over here, I got a bunch of rust. I need to spray that with some rust encapsulator. I think Pour 15 does the same thing, but if I got that rust converter, I'll just spray that rust converter on that as well. And then Pour 15 it. This side, which is the battery box, that's nowhere near as bad as most people's. Over here, that's where the washer, the windshield washer tank goes, and it's pretty bad off. Not bad enough as in change metal out, cut metal out and put new metal in, but it's got a lot of rust. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on time lapse so that you guys get a good little comedy routine of me trying to push this thing out. But it was easier than I expected. So let me go ahead and slam my old hood prop up in there and start spraying it down with a bunch of foamer, cleaner, degreaser, whatever kind of cleaner stuff I got. And we'll see how it turns out. Alright, so this is what I used for cleaning out the engine bay. Just regular foam degreaser and just regular old degreaser. I had 1 can of each. That was nowhere near enough. I guess I got the whole compartment lathered up with it. I used 1 can regular degreaser on this side, and then I sprayed the other side down with the foamy on this side, and it took a whole can for each half. Them cans advertise you spray it on there, you let it sit and soak, do its work, and then you hose it off. Well, that's what I did, and I still had a lot of grease left over. I didn't have caked on grease in this bay, but I mean, you could still smear your fingers and feel it when I was in the nooks and crannies. So I ended up running into town looking for, I went to one of them dollar stores looking for another can or 2 of those things, and I couldn't find any. They didn't have any, so I just picked up this stuff right here. This is was it purple power. Sprayed it on there. It advertises do not get on painted surfaces, do not spray on aluminum. A couple other warnings that I probably didn't pay enough attention to. Well, anyways, that stuff works. Another warning it had was do not let dry. Rinse off prior to product drying. Well, I started spraying. I sprayed this whole engine bay with it, not really thinking it'd be worth a hoot. I figured that the advertised degreasers would do a lot better. But anyways, I sprayed that whole engine bay with it. By the time I got back to this side, it just started drying, and I started wiping it down or hosing it off, and I could tell that it had done a whole lot better job. I ended up getting that microfiber towel. I don't know if you can see it over there. Using it to also wipe down, clean up components, and you can tell from this purple, what is it? Purple power. It will take the paint off. Fender, that was all black. Same with over here. That's a nice, pretty primer color now. Those were all black components before. It may have had, back here, you had some scrapes and scratches in the black where you see the gray primer, but all this this fender well right here, that right there by the power steering pump, that was all black beforehand. That purple powder took it right off. I ended up buying two, and I only used maybe a quarter of that squirt jug. It was significantly better than the advertised degreaser, engine bay degreasers. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm probably gonna give this thing another rinse down real quick. Make sure I got all this purple stuff off. Let it dry, take an air hose to it, blow it all down, dry it. Alright, so the pour 15's done. It was a bigger pain in the ass than I thought it'd be. Just trying to get around everything without painting myself. But there's a few spots there that turned out a little bit thinner than I was wanting. Overall, I think it'll work. I only did the lower half. I mean, I plan on coming back tomorrow morning. I'll come back out here in the morning and I'm gonna throw a coat of just rattle can semi-gloss through the whole engine bay. Bring in a couple bags, wrap up some key components that I don't want spray painted, but brake lines, sway bars, steering gearbox, all that's getting painted. I'm just gonna go over everything. This right here is the size of the can that I used. Smallest can they make, or that they had, semi-gloss black. Yeah, I probably only used about that much, so well over half a can. The only problem is you pour it out of the can, or excuse me, you dip your brush out of the can, you know you're going to get it all up into the lip there. I did my best to wipe it out, but odds are this can's now going to be permanently sealed. I'll have to cut the lid off if I ever need to use it again. We'll see. Alright, so the next day, the pour 15 is dry. You can see it's a glow gloss. You can see what part I've already did. Really all I did was like the little horizontal areas, these cross member and this lip right around. I did do a little bit around the tunnel. I can see from here I missed a good spot over there on the driver's side tunnel. I'm going to take some of my semi-gloss Rust-Oleum, paint everything including the pour 15 parts that I did. We'll see how it turns out. Alright, fresh wet paint. This is the Rust-Oleum low gloss, excuse me, semi-gloss. I don't know if there's a difference, but silly me, I only bought one can, therefore I ran out. Half tempted to go back and go get another can right now rather than wait till tomorrow, which is when I'll be in town anyways for work. But it's early in the day, so you can definitely see the difference. But once again, this is with wet paint. Down there in that little tray, it was pour 15, and this is the wet semi-gloss. So I really need to get a sponsorship from Rust-Oleum.